All right. Thanks for coming out this morning and jumping on this. Have you guys done a podcast before?
Never. First one.
All right. Perfect. So for people that are listening to this, we got Nate and Pete here. And you guys own Freedom Flag and Pole, correct?
Yep.
And you guys drove all the way out here from Wisconsin to help us erect this new flagpole for our new building site, which I can't tell you how much I appreciate this. And honestly, I've been looking forward to this for months now. I just think it's going to look so cool. And we have so much pride in what we've been able to build in just a few years, but I truly believe like it's only possible in this country. You know, I actually had a guy on my podcast a couple days ago. The episode hasn't aired yet. Maybe the listeners of this will have heard it by the time this drops. But he was from England, and we were talking about the banking system and how you can't just, they don't have like little community banks that you can just go to and say, hey, I have this idea. I want to start this knife company or a flag company or dog washing business.
Right.
Like they don't have small banks. And so it's basically impossible for an average guy to go to a bank with an idea and say, I need $5,000 to start my idea.
Yep.
But in this country, you know, you can go to a bank and you can say, I have an idea, and you can build a major brand in 5 years, you know, and I didn't necessarily have to go, I didn't go borrow money initially to do this. But then when we built this building, I did have to go to the bank and kind of, you know, tell them, well, hey, this seems to be working, but we need to grow. And so I guess I'm saying all that to say I'm very proud to fly a giant American flag over the top of our building because I think it represents so much, but I think it really represents the American dream and what's possible in this country.
Yep.
You know, so with that, you guys sell and erect flags. How did this business begin? Like, how did you guys come to own this business?
You want to take it away?
Sure. Yeah, so Tom, Geary is my dad, Pop, and he started this company in 1991. He was listening to the war start on the radio and went,
Desert Storm?
Gulf War.
Gulf War, yeah.
Yep.
And he went, I need a good flagpole. And he didn't know where to find one. It was just box office stores, the ones that kind of clip together, and they just don't hold up very well over time. So he was driving a truck for UPS and started selling flagpoles on the side. And it's really a cool story. He just built it from the ground up. There's fun stories about him running to phone booths and talking to my mom about who he had to call back, and really started.
I mean, it's pre-cell phone era.
Right. Yep.
Pre-cell phone.
Yeah.
Make some morning deliveries and then call the wife at lunch and say who called us and who do I need to call back, and spend his lunch break calling customers and building the business.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, just built it. And
you said he was a UPS guy before that?
Yeah.
UPS driver?
Yep.
How long did he do the flagpole business before he was able to kind of quit doing UPS?
I think it was 04, 05 he quit and did full-time flag business. Yep.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So,
So you, what year were you born?
99.
Okay.
Yep.
So he had been doing flagpoles long before you were even thought of.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm the youngest of 7. I got a big family.
Wow.
So he had a lot going on. It was pretty remarkable.
7 kids. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I've been putting in flagpoles just since I was a kid.
Yep.
He used to pay me in burgers.
Yeah. Did your siblings help too? Was it kind of family business?
Yeah, kind of a family business. Me and my brothers.
Yeah.
And then Nate's my brother-in-law, and go ahead. Kind of came in 2019, and
I married in, and I started full time in 2019. A little bit of part-time work before that. And
what were you doing before? Like, did you grew up? Did you guys grow up pretty close to each other, or did you know each other growing up?
Didn't know each other, so. I grew up in the neighboring town, kind of a suburb of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, an even smaller town, and just met Pete's sister my senior year of high school. We were at different schools, but kind of high school sweethearts in a way.
Yeah.
And started working for the business part-time a couple of years after that, and then in 2019 went full-time. Kind of in the in-between stage. I was an EMT through college.
Okay.
After college, EMT. And then did a medical sales job for a couple of years too.
Okay. So did you say last night here you played college baseball or?
I play town ball.
Okay.
Baseball. So it's a wood bat league. It's pretty fun. It's competitive.
I wasn't sure if you played like college when, after high school or what that all looked like.
No, I played college football actually in UW Eau Claire.
Oh, really? What position?
It's a D3 school. I played, I was about the 7th string wide receiver and the 3rd string kicker. So
yeah. That's all right. And so you were doing the EMT thing, and you also had told Mike last night, we were talking, you were like an ER tech or something. Is that right?
Yeah. I was an ER tech. So I got my EMT certification while I was in college. And then just for better work, I was thinking pre-med at the time. Wasn't really sure what I wanted to do in college, Yeah. But I really liked that time working as an ER tech in an emergency room. Learn a lot, see a lot, work with some good people. So.
Yeah. And so you started into the business once you you were married to a sister, and you guys just get along pretty good. Did it just kind of hit it off, or what?
Yeah,
Pete's great to work with. Yeah, so I started. Tom was kind of in a spot where, so when I was at EMT and we graduated college, we moved to Minnesota, to the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, bigger city. There's just better job opportunities there. So my wife and I moved over there. Did some work, bought a condo, had a kid, and then they're like, hey, I think it's time to move back home.
You
know? So, and the time I was looking for jobs over there, Tom was kind of at a point where he's kind of maxed out what one person could do. He's a solopreneur, and he's like, hey, do you want to come work for the business?
Yeah.
And I said, heck yeah. So we made
is
the
most
leap
of that
and
is
moved
that
back.
is so how does that work? Are you guys, do you split up duties as far as like, sales? Is one of you a little bit more involved in sales and a little bit more in like install or like procuring the stuff? How does the arrangement work with you guys?
Well, when I first started, I moved back and learned. I mean, Tom was doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
He was the only guy full time, Pete's dad, and then it started off with him teaching me everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first step.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of got to a point where business was growing,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't just take Tom out. He's in his 60s, and he's put in 30 years of digging holes.
Right.
And it got to a point where I needed some help.
Mm-hmm.
And Pete's a little bit younger than me, and the first time we were thinking about, hey, who's interested in the business? Who wants to come help? Pete kind of jumped at the chance,
Mm-hmm.
and we tried him out just part-time. He had another job, and we just kind of arranged. I said, hey, Pete, I need help 2 days this week. What 2 days can you give me?
Yeah.
And it started out like that. And at first he was just a grunt, helping me dig holes and stuff.
Yeah.
But then, was it 2 years ago? You made the jump full time?
Yep. And then Nate started teaching me everything.
And then I started teaching Pete everything. So
Okay.
The idea was to cross-train fully. So, living the American dream,
Mm-hmm.
starting out, small business. Hey, if something happens with family is a big priority for us.
Right.
If I need to be somewhere, Pete can answer the phone, run the shop.
Yeah.
So that was the next step.
Yeah.
And then now we're kind of at a point where kind of maxed out what two people can do. And
Really?
business is still growing. So
Do you have any other help, or is it pretty much just you two?
it's pretty much just us two. Tom still does a little bit part-time.
Yeah.
We got a bookkeeper, but yeah, we're just
Busy.
busy, loving what we do, and
Yeah.
and seeing what's next.
So is it pretty common, you guys drove all the way from Wisconsin, which that was quite a trip. It was funny because I was busy that day and I wasn't checking my emails really. And then, I'd gotten a text from you about your transmission, but then I went back and looked at my emails and I got an email like, hey, we're on the road, expecting to be in on time, blah, 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 blah. And then it was like 3 PM or whatever. It was like, hey, actually we're running ahead. Looks like we're going to be in like early afternoon. Things are going good. We're ahead of schedule. And it was like 10 minutes later, scratch that. We just lost our transmission.
Yeah.
We don't know when we're going to be there.
Yeah, that was an adventure.
In North Dakota, right?
Yeah.
Was it outside of town? Did you have to get towed? Or
Yeah, we had just filled up on gas. We
stopped in Dickinson, North Dakota. So pretty small town, but it's a town, you know. Yep. And we stopped, filled up with gas, and then got back on the on-ramp, and it wasn't shifting. So pulled over, nothing. Put it in park, and it wouldn't even get back into drive. So
really?
Tranny shot. Yep.
So you got towed to a shop?
We got towed to a shop. We were on the phone with AAA first, but then a state trooper pulled up, and he said, "Hey, use these guys. It'll be a lot quicker." So we called them, and there was a tow truck there in 15 minutes, and they took us to a shop, a local shop, that really went above and beyond.
Like a small, is this just like a small mechanic shop, or was it a dealership?
It was a transmission place.
Yeah, it was a small mechanic shop. So I don't know anything about Dickinson, North Dakota. So this towing company came and they said, "Where do you want to take it?" And I said, "What are my choices?" And they said, "Well, there's 2 dealerships in town and a small tranny shop." I was like, "Boom, small tranny shop. Let's do that. They'll work with real people instead of a dealership, And man, they I can't say enough good things about them. Schmidt Transmission in Dickinson, North Dakota.
Okay.
They stayed after. We were there about 30 minutes before close. They stayed with us after hours to get this figured out. Made sure that we were taken care of. Had a hotel room. One of their employees drove us to our hotel, so we didn't have to get an Uber. And they said, "Hey, we got a tranny on the shelf. We'll get you in right in the morning." 12:30.
What are the odds they had a tranny that fit your truck? What year's your truck?
2016. Yeah, Chevy Silverado. So.
What are the odds they just have one sitting around?
I know, right?
And so then did they work through the night or next morning? Or
they said, they said
in the morning.
First thing in the morning, they'll pull it in and start working on it. And 12:30, they called right after lunch, said it's done.
Really?
So unbelievable. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you were back on the road and got out here. But I guess my question is, how common is, like, when people order flagpoles, are they generally installing themselves, or are they getting the parts and pieces in and then hiring a local company to come install, or do you guys do a lot of the install?
We do most of the install. Yeah.
We do a lot of installs around Wisconsin and in Minnesota.
It's kind of one of those things. We do residential and commercial. So a lot of commercial projects, they're put out for bid, and we'll put in a bid and do that whole thing. But residential, the people who are looking for a flag, when Tom started this business, you could buy a flagpole from Menards or Home Depot or something. They have them, but they're not great. And the people who want a really nice flagpole are the people who call us, and they're wanting a professional to come in and install it. And you were there with us yesterday. It's not rocket surgery. It's not too hard, but you want to get it right.
No,
the first time.
but there's some nuances to it that I would not have known. I mean, the next one that came in, I could do it with a little bit of help, but seeing it the first time. But if you're just a regular, homeowner, there's going to be some struggles. And I would say I'm a little less regular also because I have the know-how and ability to go rent a backhoe, dig my own hole.
Right.
And that's a big hole. I mean, for that pole, it's an 8-foot deep hole. Like, that's not a hand dig situation.
Right.
And so again, most homeowners don't know how to run a piece of equipment,
right?
Where to get that, how to do all that, call for locates, do all the things, right? And then as far as like just putting that pole together, and we haven't even set it yet. We poured the concrete in it yesterday morning. And for people that don't know, these flagpoles sit in a sleeve, basically a steel culvert that gets buried in the ground. And I guess the reason for that is because what we're going to do is we're going to set that pole in that sleeve and then fill around it with sand. And I guess the idea of that sand is if you ever had to suck that thing out and replace it, it's not stuck in concrete. Right. Now, is the other reason you were saying yesterday, the other reason is for breakage?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, aluminum's a soft metal, so it kind of needs a little bit of breathing room.
A little give.
Yeah.
So that sand gives a little bit of kind of soft ability to wiggle a little bit in there.
It's just enough. Yeah.
Just enough.
We've seen some things where it's not maybe wedged at the top. We've got called to some jobs where, hey, my flagpole's crooked, and we come out and check it out, and with aluminum being a soft metal, you don't want it to shear off. If it's set in something solid, that could happen. But with sand, if we showed up to a job, the wedges were missing at the top, and with the freeze thaw that we have in Wisconsin, it just moved. There's some water in with the sand in the sleeve, and it just moved the pole.
So if we tomorrow when we set that, we're going to put some wedges in. You're saying, that keep it from like the wind over time, and it sitting there shaking and soft sand. It would work its way across that sleeve.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
I was wondering about that because. And that ground, as you could kind of tell, those sides stood up real well. It's got some clay in it.
Yep.
That sleeve that ground could hold some water. That sand could get a little bit wet.
Yeah.
Ideally, the other advantage of I put that up on a hill, so that water is going to shed off that hill. It'd be different if that was set in a depression where it's going to have a puddle around it.
We see that sometimes too, but I like when people know what they're doing and think ahead. So that's good. Yeah.
So that makes sense. But what I was saying is, in theory, it's like, stick these 3 sections together. But there's a stamp, for example, on the pole. What's the deal with those stamps? Because those align your sections. They have to go together basically that way. What's the reason for that?
They're fitted together once in the shop when they're fabricated and then pulled apart again. So when they align them in the shop, they stamp them so you know where they're fitted because it's friction fit. So these... it's a 3-section pole, so really once it's set, gravity is just holding it together.
Yeah.
There's overlapping sections and it's friction fit. So that's what allows the true tapered appearance, even though it's a 3-section pole. Is those joints.
Okay. And it was interesting too because explain on these big huge poles. Like I'm more used to all the little small poles you see at a schoolyard that are 15, 20 feet tall, whatever, with a rope that's hanging there and whatnot. But what do you call it? The truck? Is that what hauls the flag? What did you call that, like pulley system?
Oh, pulley. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a pulley at the top, pulley truck that's at the top. And for this one, this is an internal halyard with a winch, so it's got a winch system and a hand crank to raise and lower the flag, which is nice with these big flags and these big poles. It's a heavier flag and it's more heavy duty, so it's stainless steel braided aircraft cable. So a regular rope, there'd be a lot of stress on it here, and it'd be
in the weather, wear and
prone to break.
But this cable actually runs up the inside of the pole.
It runs up the inside of the pole up through the internal bottom of that pulley truck. It's a kind of an upgraded heavy-duty pulley truck ball combination. So it's got a big, giant gold ball that you'll be able to see in the video. And,
big, beautiful ball.
The big, beautiful ball. And, it comes out the top on the outside where the flag arrangement cable connects the cable that holds the flag.
Okay. So what are the general rules around flying a flag? Okay, so we're going to put that up tomorrow. We're going to run that flag up there. But I was even like doing a little bit of Googling because, people love to point out whenever you screw something up on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
And the last thing I want to do is have people out there like, look at this unpatriotic asshole, whatever he's doing. So what are the general etiquette rules with a flag, putting it up, and proper maintenance and all that stuff?
Yeah, the flag code is kind of the document that explains how Americans should fly the flag, and it's the original flag code, so before technology and all that. So it doesn't say, surprisingly, specifically that a flag needs a designated light. It says it should be distinguishable at night. So if you can drive by and tell that thing, that is an American flag flying, that's the idea. Mm-hmm. So that's, other than that, you want it to be full staff whenever possible. There's 9 holidays where the flag is lowered to half staff or something. And there's different, for each holiday, it's a little bit different. Sometimes you raise it at noon.
Oh,
or
really?
Take it down at noon. Sometimes it's sunrise to sunset.
Okay. So. I was going to ask about that. Like, when are you supposed to actually make it half staff, Interesting. I'll have to find those. Yeah, like I say, I don't want to be the guy that's,
right.
What are you doing?
Right.
So for those holidays, you're basically required to have that match the flag code. What about for the days where the president just or who decides that the flag goes to half staff?
A lot of it's gone to the governors.
Yeah, so it used to be just federal, but now there's federal and state. So the governor of Montana could say, hey, something happened with so and so who used to be in government. We're going to recognize them and issue an order for just the state of Montana. Yeah.
Are you required to follow it?
No, I mean the flag code is not law.
Right.
It's just a matter of respect, I guess. So.
Right. Yeah. So somebody famous kicks the bucket and they want to try to lower the half staff, but I'm like, I think that guy was an asshole. I can leave mine full up.
You could. Yeah. It's yeah.
It's up to you.
Deal with the aftermath.
Deal with the internet.
Yeah.
The internet warriors afterwards, the flag police.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as lighting goes, that was actually one of my concerns is in a good way is like, I want that thing lit up. Like, we're so proud of that flag. I mean, I'm so proud to be an American. Yeah, I never served or whatever, but I have so much appreciation for the families that have sacrificed for our country. I have family members that have served. My grandparent, my grandpa was in World War II. And so we're going to I asked my electrician to research, specific flag lights. And for people that don't know that, like, make sure you're researching like a light that matches the height of the pole.
Yep.
Ours is an 80-foot pole, which means 80 feet out of the ground.
Right.
And so he originally had, I think, 2 lights that he was I think he maybe just had them. And I was like, well, this is 80 foot. And he's like, oh shit, I don't think my lights are going to work. And so we had to get lights that were rated for that height. And then we also are putting in 3 lights at 120 degrees apart from each other around that circle. So that way, no matter what direction that flag's flying, it's got good,
cool,
proper light on it.
Those always look really good.
The triangulation looks really nice. Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah. The big difference if there's just one coming versus every direction. Looks really good.
Yeah, that's good. What are you guys seeing in the flag business with just the way of the world and the craziness? And I would argue a lot of times there's a lot of unpatriotic sense in this country, a lot of stuff going on where it feels like my attitude always like, if you don't like it, move, leave, go to a different country. Do you guys see the business compared to, say, when Tom was running it and, all the way through his time to today? Do you feel like there's more and more people putting up flagpoles? Is it less patriotic? Is it more? What's your sense?
I think in general, more poles going up.
Really?
Yeah.
It hasn't slowed down. No. Yeah. It's our business it's so fun.
Yeah.
To do flags and flagpoles, and the people that we get to deal with are the people that you want to work with.
100%.
Yeah, we do a lot of veterans parks, work with vets, for their businesses or for their homes, and patriotic people. So, I mean, we don't have to deal with a lot of the unpatrioticness because they're not the ones calling us. So
yeah, that's such a good point. Like, the kind of customers you have are like, the best kind of people. I mean, they're proud of their country. They want to fly that flag. They're spending money. They're paying a fair amount of money just to be able to raise a flag.
Yeah.
It's
a big thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's tens of thousands of dollars to put up a big pole.
Right.
Let's talk about the residential side, though. I think there's so many people that maybe think it's more, there's more roadblocks than there really are to get this done. What's what's a typical residential flagpole in a neighborhood that somebody wants to put in their front yard? That they live on a half acre, but they have a little, piece of grass out front and they want to fly a flagpole. Like, what height generally are those poles?
Usually about 20, 25, or 30 foot.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're commercial grade flagpoles, so they're ones that you'll see outside of banks, but we can size them for residential. Okay. And they look so nice.
Yeah.
People really like them.
And how deep are those buried in the ground?
A foot in the ground for every 10 in the air. So like a 20-footer would be about 2 feet. But
okay, so I mean that's a handhole. Like you're not renting equipment.
No,
to have to
right,
do
yeah,
that.
we dig by hand for a lot of residential ones.
Which again, I think that's something that a lot of times people it's like, well, I don't want to have a backhoe come in and tear up my whole yard or whatever. So like that's a shovel.
Yep.
Post hole diggers and are you pouring those in concrete? Is there a sleeve? What's that look like?
Yeah, that also goes in a sleeve. Sometimes the smaller ones can be a flush fit sleeve, just because they're not taking too much wind. But otherwise, we also do the sand method on those ones. Yeah.
Okay, and again,
in concrete,
and you can hand mix that concrete. So again, you're not backing a concrete truck across the backyard.
But it's not just like 2 bags of concrete. It's really solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to try to minimum for 20-footers 6 bags, get some weight down in there. Yeah. We were at a job site the other week, and it was kind of a smaller, but it was a commercial job site, but it's a smaller pole, so we're just mixing it in a wheelbarrow, and some concrete pad curb guy comes over and he goes, "Hey, I got a mixer for I'll sell it to you for $50." I was like, I got a mixer. He's standing right here. I don't even have to load him in the truck. He gets in himself. So
yeah. That's funny. That's funny.
Hey, you're the one who's always faking phone calls when it's digging time.
Yeah. Pete always gives me crap for that. When it's time to dig and get the shovels out, then my phone's ring because it's just us two. So when we go out on a job site, I'm forwing calls from the office to my cell phone, and the phone rings at convenient times.
Right. Yeah. That's like when my sister and I used to have to wash dishes, and I always had to go to the bathroom for my parents called it dishpan diarrhea. Like as soon as you had to do the dishes, all of a sudden somebody has to go sit on the pot for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm busy.
Yeah. So for the residential people, are these all aluminum flagpoles? Are there any other types that you guys do, or is that, and why do you use aluminum?
We use just aluminum. It's the best of all worlds. It's the best all around material. If you, I was looking, and a couple of weeks ago, I asked AI what the strongest flagpole was, and it came up with fiberglass, and I was like, wow, that's kind of interesting. But there's a reason we don't do fiberglass. I've seen fiberglass poles not hold up well over time. They chip away, they dry out, they crack. They're just not for longevity. They're not great.
I will say, as a lineman, when I was working in the power line industry, there's a lot of fiberglass products in the electric world. Cross arms, and you'll see fiberglass, a lot of fiberglass light poles, and we would have to replace fiberglass poles in neighborhoods where they dry out, and that as that coating kind of comes off the outside and they start to splinter, you'll get the fiberglass splinters.
Yep.
Like when we would go pull old fiberglass poles, you were always making sure you got good gloves on, and then you weren't rubbing your face or whatever, because you'd look at your gloves and they would just be shiny with like little micro splinters. Yeah. So then a kid comes over and grabs onto it and he swings around it, and you're just filled with fiberglass slivers. So, I don't know anything about flagpoles, but I definitely know fiberglass out in the elements, especially if you're putting in a flagpole in concrete. You're hoping that's multi-generational. You're hoping that thing's there for 50 years.
Yeah.
And these fiberglass light poles I was replacing had been there for 20, and they were shot.
Yeah. Yep.
So I agree with you there. That's surprising. Maybe strength for weight and whatnot. Like technically, maybe it's stronger for what it is.
Yep.
But from a longevity standpoint, definitely not.
Longevity aluminum takes the cake. It really does. There's the other option that you would have is a steel pole, and those start rusting immediately. You put those in, and a lot of the really old handmade poles are steel, and we've replaced a lot of those in our area in western Wisconsin. And then the other,
and they're so heavy.
They're really heavy. They're a bear.
And take down.
They're a bear. And a lot of the big poles that you see, like Camping World, those are steel poles with diminishing steel sections, so it's not a tapered appearance. And even if you do it right and galvanize the steel before you put the epoxy on and stuff, it still doesn't have the lifespan that aluminum does.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the coating on our pole?
It's a powder coat. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Because our pole's black
It's
for
black,
people that
yeah.
don't know.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so powder coat's a great option for. I mean, traditionally flagpoles, your options used to be just a brushed satin finish, and then or anodized, where it's like a chemically treated colorization of the pole. But powder coating has entered the industry, and it offers a better price point than anodization, and better longevity too. So.
Yeah. So for I would say most people listen to this are going to be more on the residential side, though I encourage anyone with a business. Like, it blows me away how many businesses I see built and they don't put up a flag. And I just don't understand it. I would love to see flags all over the place. Yeah. What does a residential 20-foot flagpole, 30-foot flagpole in ballpark cost somebody to buy?
Yeah, on our website, we're I think the entry level 20 footer is $985. We offer flat rate shipping anywhere in the U.S. So residential, you can get these shipped right to you. It's not that hard, like you said. You don't need any heavy equipment or anything to put this together, but it's a pole that's going to last forever. We've put these poles in 25, 30 years ago, and they still look like brand new. They're not even aging. So.
Does the cable run up the inside of those, or is it on the outside?
That'd be the outside. Yeah, that'd be entry, like a standard residential 20-footer, 3-inch. So that's what you would see with like a really heavy duty telescoping pole.
Yeah,
about the same size as that, like a good size for residential. But you don't have the sections or the joints like a telescoping pole.
Yep.
It's a single piece tapered aluminum flagpole. It's this exact same
the 20
product, the 20 footers. Yeah.
I figured they were two pieces you put together.
No, I mean we can if we need to do that for shipping. But the preferred is just a single piece tapered aluminum flagpole. It's the exact same thing that we would put up at a school or a bank when we're doing commercial jobs.
Yeah.
It's just sized for a house, 20 foot, 3-inch. So it's really the best pole that you could get residentially.
So is up from there, like 30s and beyond, is when you start getting into sections?
Yeah, 40 feet. 40 feet is the longest or the tallest true single piece. It ships on a flatbed 44 feet long.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's pretty dang affordable. I mean, for people, $900. What's install generally cost to do on that stuff for people?
Yeah, we start out locally, $400 or $500.
Yeah. And then the further you start traveling, it gets a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I would definitely argue for most homeowners, and correct me if I'm wrong, but for like a 20-foot flagpole, that's something most pretty capable people with a couple hands could self-install.
Oh, yeah. It's a really light pole. What's the joke? It takes two guys in a six-pack.
Oh, yeah.
Up until when you get above 30 feet, then you need something more. But 20, 25, 30 feet, two guys in a six-pack is...
Yeah. Sounds like a good Saturday.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly.
Pour some concrete on a Saturday and set it up on Sunday, and you're good to go.
Yep.
No, I love that, and I think I think a lot of this is I think there's a lot of people out there that would put them up. I just think they maybe don't quite know how easy it is to actually get up and install.
Right. Well, knowledge was the birth of the company. When Tom started this thing, he didn't know, he couldn't find a good flagpole.
Yeah.
And that's still the case today. People just don't know where to find a good flagpole. So the more that we can spread our message, the more that people can benefit from this.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love that. So you guys are hunters too?
Yeah.
We love it.
Like hunting?
We love it.
Yeah.
A lot of whitetail in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Tree stand hunters?
Yeah.
Sitting there waiting.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. Yeah. When we do, I didn't grow up hunting. So my dad had some not great experiences when he was a kid. So it was just not something I grew up doing. And then when I met Marina, Pete's sister, and started getting more involved in the family and stuff, they invited me to their family deer camp, and man, I fell in love. Yeah. That was great.
Yeah, that's cool.
That just started out, Wisconsin, backwoods hunting, it's like the Orange Army. Going out in November and deer season opener. And we're, public land, walk out in the woods with a rifle and sit down on a stump. That's what it is.
Right.
And I loved it.
Looking for that
Sunrise
30 point buck.
Yeah, that 30 point buck.
Yeah.
Yeah, we play those songs too. It's a good time.
It's good fun.
It's Betty Lou, right? She's the one. Triple barrel, double scoped heat-seeking shotgun.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. One of the best hunting songs ever written.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's great. We play it every year. Yeah.
What's the second week of deer camp one?
Yeah, that's a good one. If you haven't heard that one.
I haven't.
Yeah, I'll send that to you.
Really?
Yeah. It's the second week of deer camp, and all the boys are here. The only time we leave the camp is when we go for beer. It's pretty good.
I like that. You guys big Bears fans?
Packers. Come on.
You joking?
We brought you, are you a Bears fan?
No.
Okay, good. We have a special surprise for you when we put this poll up tomorrow. So,
okay. Yeah. We're going to stick a piece of cheese on the top of this thing or what?
You'll see. You'll have to watch. The listeners will have to watch the video to find out. But,
yeah. So for people that are listening to this, we probably similar. Well, might be out before this podcast is, but we're doing kind of a full video about the putting up of this flagpole. So, couple little pieces of video. One, just some stuff for our vlog that we put out every Friday afternoon on our YouTube. But then a little separate actual just flag video, and it'll show, and I think people kind of get a sense of the process for a big flag, more of a commercial grade, digging the hole, pouring the concrete. I had to go through probably a little more than most of your customers do because our county requires a county building permit, which I think is probably the only county in the nation that does that.
It's a little unusual.
Yeah, but we had to do a rebar basket around the sleeve. The engineer actually called for like a sonotube, big sonotube, like a 3-foot sonotube for that sleeve to go in. But to be honest, I think ours is overdone because we just dug the hole and poured the whole thing full of concrete, that makes me feel better than anything because there's a lot.
8.5 yards is a lot of mud.
It's a brick of concrete. Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
No.
So we did all that, and then people are going to get a little bit of a sense of us, getting those sections put together. That was terrifying. I think you guys need to come up with a better system. And I'm not sure how the owner of the company, even though you're the junior guy, it's weird. I guess technically you're the owner, right?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Or both of you?
Yeah, we both are. Yeah.
Okay, you both are. All right. So I don't know how all the who's got seniority. You have seniority time-wise. I don't know where the finance stuff comes in, but all I know is the dude's son who started the company is sitting there holding a block while the freaking baseball player is just swinging out of his ass with a rubber mallet.
Towards me.
Yeah, towards him. Yeah, towards the trust level is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
I said I think the reason that it's not reversed is because he married your sister, and you might take your chance to get even with him, if he got down there. But watching you guys hammering that section together with the mallet I was cringing because if that thing if his aim was off at all and it glanced up, you're gonna miss some teeth.
Yeah.
That was.
I try not to think about it.
Yeah.
We've done a bunch of them, and
we've done a lot together.
Yeah, I really trust you with my life. So
obviously, you may regret that eventually.
Right.
Mike Gerst, our good friend of ours and customer and whatnot, just showed up for the rest of the weekend. He's an ER doc, so he sees all the things come in, and he walked up and immediately you guys are banging on this wood block, and I'm sure he's just like all the moments of people that come into his ER. Like, how did this happen? Yeah. Oh, I was swinging a sledge at a half-fractured 2x6.
Yeah. He's looking into the future a little bit.
He's sure. Basically, he just started putting his rubber gloves on. He's just preparing to go to work.
Yeah.
But, no, it worked out. But
he's a great guy.
Yeah, smashing all those sections together. And then we got a crane coming, and that's the thing for a pole this size. We're gonna have to. It's pretty. What is this pole? Do you know what a combined weight is of those three sections?
It's like 1,100 pounds.
1,100 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay, so not heavy for a crane, but too heavy and too tall for individuals to put in there. Yep. So we'll rig that up with some straps, set that, and get that all put in, and then we'll raise that flag up around noon tomorrow. We're going to have all of our veterans that work here, kind of help deal with the flag and whatnot as we're putting that up. What size flag is on that?
It's a 20 by 38.
20 by 38.
Yeah.
So like a 2-car garage, a big extra
good.
deep 2-car garage.
Looking good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. What I'm excited about is when you drive into the valley, when you come into the Missoula Valley from the west, especially on Interstate 90, coming from the west coast, you kind of go through Frenchtown and whatnot, and you go down through this big dip, but all the way down that dip and then all the way back up the other side, our building sits right on the hill there. It's the first building you really are going to see as you enter Missoula. And I think that building's like around close to 30 feet tall. So that pole is going to be 50 feet taller than that building. And you're going to be able to see that flag for miles in every direction. Yeah, we're on a hill in the wide open.
You got a primo spot.
Yeah.
For sure. And especially even building that hill that was 8 feet, that counts. You'll be able to.
Yeah, it sticks it up there even.
You got one of the best spots because it's, a lot of the big poles, if they're lower down, off the highway.
Yeah, they don't look quite as impressive.
Right.
I'm excited to see it at night.
Yeah.
It's all lit up.
Yeah.
Same.
You're going to see it from miles.
I literally Friday night might have to leave the fairgrounds and just drive out there and look at it. Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to because I want to make sure our lights are adjusted properly. Yeah. So, but for us, we're going to be able to use that as, when you get off the interstate to come to our coffee shop or our knife shop, you got to kind of make a couple right-hand turns. It's not just right there where it's just intuitive of how to get there.
Yeah.
And signage is difficult. You get off the interstate and there's no places to, put up signs and lead people there. So I really think our mantra is going to be, find the flag, go to the flag. And you get off that exit going either direction, you're going to see that flag. And I think people are going to eventually just know, like, I can figure out how to get to that flag.
Yeah.
Which is going to be awesome for us because that area is going to build out over time and there's going to be more buildings in the way, more stuff in the way, but that flag is never going to be blocked by anything.
Right. Well, that's the story of your company, right? The American dream. And I've seen it with you and going to the rodeo last night with you and hanging out with your family. Mm-hmm. What better way to live the American dream than to involve your kids in your business?
Yeah.
And I've seen you do that. And that's what Tom did starting out, and that's what we're going to continue to do.
Yeah.
We took my oldest out on a job. He's 7.
Yeah.
We took him out on a job this summer and, for a full day of work.
Yeah.
It was a full day of work. And, man, he talked about it for weeks ahead of time and weeks after. And, and he loved it, and great. It's just the start of it. So
no, it's great. That's how I grew up in my dad's excavation business. We had backhoes and dump trucks and all that stuff. And I, would haul pipe around the job site. And, I'm sure that'll be his job is like, hey, get all the materials out and make sure everything's over here and haul the garbage off and just that stuff initially. And then it goes from there. But a lot of my best memories are working with my dad for sure.
Yeah.
And so, and you probably have the same, maybe some of your worst memories. Too.
I got some good ones. Yeah. I remember doing a restring with Pop and he's, his hands are full. So he hands the rope, we have to clip the rope and, sometimes you have to restring the flagpoles and he hands it to my brother, Sean. And I'm standing next to Sean and he goes, all right, hey Sean, help me hold this. He goes, and Sean hands it to me and I'm holding it and then they're done working. He goes, all right, where's that rope? And I go, rope? It's just
flapping in the wind.
We had to jump up and grab it.
Yeah.
Lots of fun memories.
Yeah, for sure.
Flagpoles.
That's awesome. Well, and you guys brought me an amazing flag, framed MKC logo with a really cool tag on it. I mean, that was above and beyond. I can't believe you guys did that. So thank you very much for that. We'll proudly put that up in our. We'll find a place in here, and then in the next. Which we're only just a few months away in the next building. That'll probably be upstairs by my office, but
our pleasure. We're happy to be here and happy that you are having us all the way from Wisconsin. We want to do something special for you. And I saw somewhere on your website the phrase "building more than knives," and I thought, wow, I want to incorporate that somehow because that's that correlates to our business too. You know, we have our motto is keep looking up.
Yeah.
Keep looking up. And it's
that.
It's more than flags. It is.
Yeah.
And we there's in the jar of life, there's big rocks and little rocks, you know, and if you fill it with the little rocks first, you know, the cars, the money, you know, whatever, then you don't have room for the big rocks. So it's a motto that we want to spread, but it's a motto that is easy to forget too as a business owner running your business. So we want to keep that front and center.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason I went with such a big flag and flagpole is I was concerned that with a building that size that it would look too small. And I think what I hope that this represents when people come in is that no matter how big our company is, how big the building is, how big we think we are and our egos and whatever else, that there's something bigger out there, and that's that flag. Like it's our country. It's what that represents. I feel like we are benefiting from the sacrifice of so many. Our company is literally the example of what's possible still today. Everyone says American dream's dead and life's unfair and, you know, it's hard to get ahead. And it is. It's all hard. But it was also hard for my grandparents to get ahead in the Great Depression.
Yeah.
It's always been hard. That's okay. But if you're flying that flag and that flag is still being flown in this country, you know, anything's possible.
Yep.
You know, and I hope more people will put those up. It just every time I hear the national anthem, like at the rodeo last night, I'm just so appreciative of what our country represents and what it is. And I think in this world today, it's so easy for people, especially with the internet, focusing on the negative of everything going on. But in general, people are just good people. You know, you go to that rodeo last night, in general, just people you meet and see and you're around are just good people. And I think that's the case most everywhere. People are just good people.
Yeah.
So I'm very hopeful that what we're doing with this podcast and then with the video and all this, that it encourages people to order flags from you guys, to buy flags or flags from somebody else, like put up a flag. But what I love is that you guys are the kind of people that of businesses just in general, we want to be supporting small family run businesses. And I'm sure there's probably bigger flag companies out there, just as there were bigger knife companies out there when I started, but people supported us because it wasn't so much about the product. It was about who we were, and they were buying us, and they were buying our story and our family and, you know, kind of the possibilities. And I hope people will see that with you guys, that it's like, hey, it's a company with two dudes. Because a lot of times you can look bigger than you are on the internet.
Yeah.
Right. And they see, you know, Freedom Flag and Pole, and it's like, well, I don't know, that's probably some huge flag company. It's like, no, it's just a couple dudes putting up flagpoles every day. It's
trying
awesome.
to scratch a living.
Yeah, supporting their families. So by supporting you, it almost feels selfish. Like by buying a flag and putting it up and making such a big, grand like display, it's like it's not about us. It's about that flag, and it's about being proud.
Well, man, you think about the history of America and what it was built on, and the fact that we get to represent that in our business, and you making this decision that's the reason that you did this too, you know. But the fact that the great experiment, a government of the people, by the people, for the people, you know, and we're celebrating 250 years next year of our country. You know, the fact that the foundation of the Declaration is that people are born with certain unalienable rights that shall not be infringed upon, and that those rights are not given to you by a government; they're given to you by the Creator. You know, the God above.
That's awesome.
So
that's exactly right. Well, we'll leave it right there. That's a perfect way to end it. Name of your company and your website.
freedomflagandpole.com. Yeah.
Okay.
Almost in unison. freedomflagandpole.com. Yeah, we have a coupon code right now just for you guys, MKC. You can use that at checkout for 15% off everything, including flagpoles. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, even people, if you just need to replace their own flags they already have, they can do that through you guys, right?
Yeah.
We do all flags, American. Well, I shouldn't say all flags. We do
We do American and state and military and
custom.
Custom
we do
ones,
custom
logos.
Do you?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, and I mean, like the custom flag, I mean, the logo that you guys did on there, it looks amazing. Like the print level on that flag, however you guys did that, it's legit. So,
Thank you. Yeah,
that's good to know. So 15% off what'd you say?
MKC from
Okay.
Montana Knife Company. MKC at freedomflagandpole.com.
Well, thank you for doing that. I did not expect that. That's super cool. So that's very generous of you guys. So awesome. Well, thanks guys. I appreciate it. And what's your Instagram?
Go Freedom Flag.
Go Freedom Flag.
Go Freedom Flag. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Go Freedom Flag.
Okay. Thanks, fellas.
You bet. Happy to be here.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just saying for people checking it out, we're out in the field a lot, so our socials aren't as up as they should be. But Go Freedom Flag for Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Sure.
Yep.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Okay.
Really
Thanks a lot.
appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks, guys.